A very big hello to all my 10 kids. How are you all? Welcome to the 5-minute 5-marker challenge for you all. I request you, give me just 5 minutes of your life and I'll give you 5 short marks, guaranteed 5 marks to you all of the chapter sum application of trigonometry. So without wasting a moment, let's begin 5-minute 5-marker challenge for you all. So in CBSE, this question is already been asked in the year 2023. So my dear kids, this chapter is very important application of trigonometry because the board is asking frequently question from this chapter. Mandatory, the question is confirmed. So watch the video till the end and ensure your 5 marks, guaranteed 5 marks in your board examination in this chapter. So let's begin. Below trigonometric values play a very important role. So before starting anything, before starting any theoretical portion, I request you, if you really wants to do the question comfortably in this chapter in application of trigonometry, so you must remember first these 3 trigonometric ratios. So this 10, 30, 10, 45, 10, 60, in all these 3, 10 values plays very important role. It plays very important role, guys. This play very important role. I request you, please remember it. This 10 values. I'm not saying these are worthless. These are also important, sine and cos. In some question, we are going to use sine values and cos values as well. But in these three, 10 plays very important role. So kindly remember, please memorize it 10, 30, 10, 45, 10, 60 so that you can solve the question very easily. Okay. Next, there are 2 terms, angle of elevation and angle of depression in this chapter. And this term, angle of elevation and angle of depression, you'll be seeing in number of questions, in majority of the questions, these 2 terms will be there, angle of elevation and angle of depression. So you must know what exactly the angle of elevation and one angle of depression is. So I'm going to give you very easy example to understand these 2 terms. Okay, so let's say, my dear kids, there is a tree, okay, and a bird is sitting here, a bird is here on the top, a bird is here on the top. Okay, so a boy is sitting in the park here. There is a boy sitting here and this boy is looking at this bird. So if this boy is looking at this bird, so this line is called, my dear kids, line of sight. This boy is looking at this bird, so this is called line of sight. And this angle which is making between the line of sight and the ground, the distance between the base of tree and the boy, so this angle is called angle of elevation. Yes, my dear kids, angle of elevation. Please, you must remember angle of elevation. So angle of elevation is basically always below to the line of sight. If this is line of sight, this is angle of elevation. Now come to angle of depression. Let's say similarly same situation is there. This is tree and the bird is here. Let's say a bird is here. This is the bird and this bird is looking to the boy. The boy is not looking to the bird. Now the situation has interchanged. This bird is looking to the boy. So this will be, it will be the line of sight of the bird towards the boy. And I'm just drawing a parallel line to the ground here. Parallel line, straight and parallel to the ground. So this angle is called angle of depression. So my dear kids, angle of elevation is always found below to the line of sight and angle of depression is above. This is angle of line of sight. So angle of depression is above to the line of sight. So the simple definition of elevation and depression is the angle which is below to the line of sight is called angle of elevation and the angle which is above to the line of sight is called angle of depression. Hope it is clear to everyone. Okay, so next. Now let's do this question. So if you have understood these 2 previous slides, then you will be able to do this question comfortably. So look at the question here. So I request you one more thing in this chapter, my dear kids. Once if you look any question, so my request is in application of trigonometry, please read the question carefully first. Please read the question. So in this question, read the question carefully. The angle of depression. So you know angle of depression is what? Standing on the ground from the top of a 75-meter high tower. So I have understood and I came to know there is a tower of 75-meter height. So please read the question stepwise and draw the diagram first. because diagram plays very important role. Diagram is having very important role in this chapter. So this is the tower here, and the height of tower is 75 meter, right? And this is ground. Okay, so there is a car here, there is a car, there is a car, and the angle of depression from the top of the tower, the angle of depression of a car standing on the ground from the top of the tower. So this is the top. And angle of depression, we are talking about angle of depression, so angle of depression will be this, because this is the line of sight here. So angle of depression is what? 30 degree, right? So if this is 30 degree, what will be this? This will be again 30 degree by alternate angle, because this is completely perfectly parallel to the ground. This line is always parallel to the ground. So if these two lines are parallel, so if this is 30, so what will be this? This will be 30 itself. Okay, and this is given 75 meter. What the question is asking? The distance of the car from the base of the tower in meter. So we need to find this value. I don't know this value, so I am marking here x. If any unknown value is there, you can let that x, h, and whatever you want to do. Okay, so name this triangle ABC. So what two important things you must do while solving the question in application of trigonometry? First, read the question carefully and draw the diagram as per the information of the question. Draw the diagram neat and clean and mark the angle perfectly, and now search the right angle triangle, because if once you will get the right angle triangle, you will be free to apply the trigonometric ratio. If there is no right angle triangle, you will not be able to apply application of trigonometric ratio. So right angle triangle is very important in the question, in the chapter application of trigonometry. So we need to find distance, this. So consider this angle, considering this angle, for this angle this is perpendicular, and for this angle this is base, and in which trigonometric function the relation of perpendicular and base is what? So tan theta. So I am taking tan 30 here. So tan 30 will be perpendicular by base AB by base, which is BC, and tan 30 is always equals to 1 by root 3, and AB is given here 75 meter, right? AB is 75 meter, so I am writing 75. I don't know BC here, BC is x, so x we have found here, we have calculated 75 root 3 meter. So this is the distance between the base of the tower and the car. Okay, so now let's move to the next question. The question number 2 is, the shadow of a tower standing on a level plane is found to be 50 meter longer when sun's elevation is 30 degree than when it is 60 degree. Then the height of the tower is. So the question is saying कि when the angle of elevation is becoming 30 degree, okay, so the shadow of the tower is becoming 50 meter longer from the length of the shadow when it was at angle 30 degree. So I have already told you very basic concept. When you read the question, just make sure to draw the diagram of the situation carefully. Draw the diagram, whatever the question is saying, draw the diagram, neat and clean diagram. So there is a tower, there is a tower. Okay, so let's draw the diagram. So let's draw a tower here. So let's say, my dear kids, there is a tower, okay, and there are, take 2 points here on the ground. I'm taking 2 points, one point is here and other point is here, right? Okay, so the angle of elevation, there are two angle of elevation from this point, and the other angle of elevation will be this line. Okay, so now mark these angles. Okay, so this angle, if I ask you in these two angles, which will be smaller and which will be greater? So my dear student, please keep it in mind, as you will be approaching towards the tower, the angle will becoming greater, and as you will go away from the building, away from the tower, the angle of elevation will be smaller, right? So this will be 60 degree from this concept, and it has to be 30 degree. Okay, my dear students, now whatever the information is provided in the question, just implement here, just execute here. So the question is saying, when the angle of elevation is become 30 degree, this situation, the length of the shadow, this is the shadow here on the ground, this is the tower. I don't know the height of the tower, so let's take the height of the tower is h here. Yeah, we can let anything which is a known value in the question, which has to be calculated. Okay, you can take that h. Okay, so now let's the length of the shadow when the angle of elevation was 60 degree, you can take here x. So if you are letting it x, so what will be this whole length of the shadow will be x plus 50, because the question is saying when the angle of elevation is becoming 30 degree, the length of the shadow is become 50 meter longer from the previous shadow. So if the previous shadow is x, so the length of the shadow, this will be x plus 50. Is it clear to everyone? Now mark the triangle here. So there are two right angle triangle. Please search the right angle triangle. Once you will get the right angle triangle, then only you can write the trigonometric ratios, because right angle triangle has very, plays very important role in application of trigonometry. I told you so many of times. So this is the first triangle ABC, in which angle of elevation is 60 degree, and the other triangle will be, I am taking this point as D, so the next triangle will be ABD. So there are two right angle triangles, ABC and ABD. Okay, so what we need to do here, we need to apply tan theta in both the triangles, tan 60 and tan 30. Why I am taking 10 only? Because for these two angles, the perpendicular has to be calculated, and base, the information on base is given here. So if perpendicular and base relations is to be calculated, if we want to find the relationship between perpendicular and base, so what we need to do, we have to take tan theta only here. So in these two triangles, so in first right angled triangle, which triangle? ABC, take tan 60 degree. So tan 60 will be, for this 60 degree, this is perpendicular, this is base, so tan theta is perpendicular divided by base. So tan 60, I have given you information in previous two slides. AB is h and BC is what? X. So by cross multiplying it, we are getting h equals to x root 3. So this is the first information. Now similarly, in triangle, right angle triangle, basically if you will be writing right angle triangle over there, the solution will be more impressive. Okay, in right angle triangle ABC, the bigger one, the bigger triangle ABC, which angle is there? 30. So I am taking tan 30. So the tan 30 will be perpendicular. For this 30, this is perpendicular, and it has to be base, because 30 degrees on BD. Okay, tan 30 is what? Tan 30 is 1 by root 3, and AB, what AB is? AB is the height of the tower h, and BD is x plus 50, right? X plus 50. Now cross multiply. So x root 3h will be equals to x plus 50, right? So h will be x plus 50 divided by root 3. Fine, and call it equation number 2. You have h equals to x plus x root 3. You have h equals to this whole family. So we can equate both. From first and second, we can write here x root 3 equals to x plus 50 divided by root 3. Hope it is clear to everyone. Now on cross multiplying both, so x root 3 into root 3 will getting only 3x, because root 3 into root 3 will be 3, and x plus 50 is here, right? So shift this x here this side, so 2x will be 50, so you are getting x equals to 25. Now put this x equals to 25 here in this, so h will be x is 25 root 3 meter. So this is the height of the tower here. So this is the height of the tower. Hope you have understood. Okay, hope you have understood. So this is interesting question. So the important thing in the application of trigonometry, important things are, kindly read the question. Please, you have to focus on the question. Please, step by step, do read the question very slowly and calmly, and draw the diagram. After reading the question, make sure to draw the diagram very neat and clean, and mark all the information in the diagram. This is the first work you have to do in this chapter, my dear lovely kids, right? And after doing this, now mark the triangles, and there must be right angle triangle, right? There will be right angle triangle. So there will be right angle triangle, don't worry for that. So this is the concept. These are the basic points by which, by following these points, you can comfortably solve the question of application of trigonometry, and you will get 5 marks, complete 5 marks, because every year question is coming from application of trigonometry. Thank you so much for watching the video. Kindly subscribe,